Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the VS Open House 2021 Q&A session from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 20th November 2021 on a wet and cool Saturday. I'm Iman.
I'm Aditya.
I'm Zivdol.
And I'm Asher. We are the VS student leaders representing the open house this morning. Together, we will be your student MCs for this session.
If you just joined this live stream on YouTube or Facebook, we welcome you to use the comment function available in these apps and our Instagram account to post your questions if you have not already posted your questions using our eOpen House Q&A form.
This is a very special year for us as we celebrate our VS 145 anniversary, and we have some amazing memorabilia available for sale. More details are available on our Facebook and Instagram accounts.
Without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Heng Swee Keang, HOD of Aesthetics and Design, and Ms. Cheryl Ong, HOD of English and English Literature, who will be the staff MC for this Q&A segment. See you later when we answer some of your questions directed to students.
Okay. Thank you, student leaders, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, especially parents and boys who are currently in Primary 5 and 6. Welcome to the Q&A segment of Victoria School's second eOpen House for 2021. I am Mr. Heng Swee Keang, HOD of Aesthetics and Design, and with me is Ms. Cheryl Ong, HOD of English and English Literature, who will be your staff MCs for this Q&A segment. Together with our student leaders, we also have with us today our school leaders. They are the principal, Mr. Chow Wei Si, vice principals, Mr. Gary Neo, Mr. Jonathan Tan, and Ms. Silver Cham. We have the HODs, subject heads, selected teachers, and parents here with us to answer questions that you have sent us earlier. Ms. Ong, how many of the parents and the P5 and 6 boys with us today do you think would know how old VS is this year?
Well, that's hard to say, Mr. Heng, but VS is actually the oldest government boys' school in Singapore. This year, we celebrate 145 years. If you would like to find out more, we not only have the official school website, but there is also a dedicated eOpen House microsite and the VS 145 celebratory microsite. You can also check out our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Maybe I should take this opportunity to bring us on a very short tour to our eOpen House microsite, our school website, and the rest. Okay, so this is our school's main website. This is our school's eOpen House website. You can find various information of our school and the open house over here. And this is our VS 145th anniversary celebration site. So I'll stop share now. We have taken much effort to update our various social media platforms so that information about VS remains easily accessible in spite of the changes in the COVID-19 guidelines.
Thank you for that introduction, Mr. Heng. I will now pass the time to the school leaders and year heads to answer the questions that have been raised about the school in general. Mr. Chow, please.
We have also over here, the principal has prepared a video, okay, that has answered many of the questions that you have viewed to us. So without further ado, we run the video first, and then the school leaders and the year heads will come online too. Video, please.
Hello, parents and our P6s. Welcome to our eOpen House 2021. This is Victoria School's second eOpen House, stemming from our current situation where we can't have any physical visits to the campus. I'm sure many of you were actually looking forward to visiting our physical campus, have close interactions with our senior Victorians, as well as our teachers and staff, in order to get to know Victoria School a little bit better. However, we have curated this eOpen House platform so that in the comfort of your home and in the safety of your family, you'll be able to also learn a little bit more about Victoria School. There will also be a live session where we will answer any questions and respond to some of your queries so that you'll be able to ask the questions you'd like to ask. Here, I will share a very brief introduction of Victoria School. And if you do have questions on your mind, we'd like to invite you to fill the questions. We will answer them as best as we can. So without further ado, I'll now share with you what Victoria School is all about. These are some of the key areas that I'll be sharing: our rich heritage and culture, our achievements of our gentlemen professional and sportsmen, our curriculum. Because we are a dual track school, we offer O-level track as well as integrated program together with Cedar Girls Secondary School and Victoria Junior College. We will also share with you some tips as to how to choose a secondary school. This year, 2021, marks the 145 years of Victoria School's rich heritage and history. Taking a leaf out of our school song, Victoria is something more. We'd like to celebrate many of the excellences of our Victorians through the different generations. And we continue to strive forward to improve ourselves, to contribute continuously to the society, to the community, and to the world. So we'd like to take this opportunity to galvanize the whole Victorian community, to inspire the next Victorian to contribute to the world. These are just some of our distinguished alumni who have contributed immensely in many areas of Singapore. You get to read more about them if you search for them online. Our vision is to develop every Victorian be a gentleman, professional, and sportsman, and they have to make tangible contribution to their work, their family, community, and the nation. Our values guide us in all the things that we do. We strive for performance excellence. We uphold respect for ourselves and of others. We uphold integrity, and it's our moral compass that guides all our actions. We develop self-discipline in everything that we do, and we also exercise empathy for our fellow humankind. Our motto, Nunc Sine Labore, nothing without labor, guides us, inspires us to continue on, not give up, even amidst challenges and obstacles. And during this pandemic times, we have seen all our Victorians and staff rise up to the occasion to role model our school motto. On our school website, you'll be able to see many of our Victorians' achievements in our co-curricular activities, spanning from 2019 to this year, 2021. Whether at zonal level or national level or international level, our Victorian sportsmen continue to do very well. And in 2020, 2 of our Victorians were actually accorded the Colours Award, highest award for any sportsman in Singapore. And in 2021, even though most of the NSG games weren't able to commence, 6 of our sports managed to clinch the East Zone and National top 4 titles. And we are immensely proud of our Victorians for the resilience that they have shown. Our uniform groups also continue to do very well in terms of role modeling gentlemanly qualities, the uniform group core and values that guide them in all the things that they achieve. Our performing arts perform at the Singapore Youth Festival once every 2 years. So this is the 2019 achievements of our performing arts groups. And 2021, our performing arts group continued to do very well, and some of them even with exceptional results in the midst of the pandemic arrangements. We also offer clubs and societies to our Victorians because we recognize that they have varied interests and passions. In terms of their academic pursuits, we have various talent development programs that offer to expose our Victorians to different challenges and different new experiences. Whether it's in the arts, the aesthetics, in writing, in sciences and the mathematics, as well as in our mother tongue languages. Our Victorians continue to do exceptionally well, be able to develop their interests further, develop their passion, find something, find a niche that truly embodies the Victorian spirit. These are the results of our Year 4 students. The Year 4s are our integrated program students, and 100% of them managed to progress to VJC for their Year 5, which is the JC1 cohort. They managed to attain a 3.6 mean GPA, which is grade point average out of a maximum of 4. 2020 O-level results, 99% of our students managed to attain 5 O-level passes in order to progress to polytechnics and JCs of their choice. Victoria School offers a broad-based holistic education, focusing on character, on cognitive development, community spirit and contributions, aesthetics development, and physical development. We put a premium on character and leadership education because all our Victorians are the leaders of the future. In platforms where they discuss ethical, civics, and moral issues, cohort camps, leadership training opportunities to further progress their leadership qualities, opportunities to lead in class, in the CCAs, and of course, at our clinical student leadership organizations. They encompass holistic experience that we give to our Victorians in order to mold and shape their character, as well as develop their leadership competencies. We offer many student leadership boards in Victoria School because we believe that all Victorians can and will be a leader who will impact positively the community. We offer many co-curricular activities because of the various interests and passions that our Victorians have. And in Victoria, we always say, discover Victoria, you will discover who you are, what your strengths are, where are the areas that you'd like to challenge yourself and step out of your comfort zone. We also offer diverse subject choices and especially special programs that are only offered in Victoria School, the Art Elective Program, Regional Studies Program, as well as the Exercise and Sports Science at O-level. In talent development, whether it be academic excellence, science, mathematics, humanities, languages, the arts and aesthetics, as well as career guidance and educational guidance, all help for every Victorian to achieve self-actualization in what they want to pursue in future. In terms of community education, we saw last year, even during the immense pandemic situation, very challenging times, our Victorians rose up to the occasion to still be able to contribute back to community because they recognize that there are certain needs of different segments of society. But through their own initiative, using the design thinking approach, they managed to effect certain social innovations, exercise their empathy through action, to connect with our senior citizens and to other more challenging social needs of different segments of society. In Victoria School, we have a hostel, and pre-COVID times, all our secondary 3 and year 3 Victorians had to spend 6 weeks staying independently and in a communal setting with fellow Victorians in our school hostel. We call this the boarding program. And it is to help them experience independent and community living, learn relevant life skills beyond the academic curriculum, as well as develop self-leadership skills and character. We do look forward to better times, where after COVID, we are able to reintroduce this program to all our Sec Year 3 students. And when that time comes, we will also be able to take our Victorians out of their comfort zone, out of Singapore, to explore beyond borders, other countries and contexts, so that they're able to better appreciate different diverse cultures, political and economical systems and contexts, and then bring that back, make relevance to and meaning to Singapore context. So these local and overseas trips in the past have helped to develop Victorians in their global perspectives. Arts education is also an integral part of the development of our GPS. Through our arts and design modules, electives and post-exam arts enrichments, which all our Victorians look forward to. Lunchtime concerts, the VS Arts Festival, the VS Got Talent, where we discover many hidden talents amongst our Victorian community. We are an all-boys school, and in Victoria's school, we have a very strong sporting culture with strong sportsmanship. Sports education naturally is a very important aspect of their growth. Physical education lessons are held twice a week, and sports modules are introduced in PE lessons like football, softball, and other team and strategic sports. Cross-country championships are also a key event in our Victoria School. And this year, even though we aren't able to conduct this cross-country in person or in a physical setting, we were able to leverage technology to come up with our VS 145-kilometer virtual race. And many of our Victorians and staff participated actively in it using a Pacer app to push their boundaries in terms of their distance covered. And it helped to engender the sporting spirit as well as exercise culture, even during these pandemic times. We look forward to better days where we will be able to introduce the cross-country championship and the track and field championships, where the whole Victorian community comes together to celebrate sports. The Victoria Cedar Alliance is an integrated program conducted by Cedar Girls Secondary School, Victoria School, as well as Victoria Junior College. And our vision is to develop a Victorian to be a social innovator and a passionate learner. A social innovator empathizes and feels for social issues and challenges the process and produce innovative solutions. This becomes increasingly important as what we can see from last year to this year, and how the pandemic has molded and shaped the economy as well as society in very humanistic ways. Eventually, we also want our Victorians through the integrated program to be able to lead with compassion, like many of our global leaders have done during this pandemic. Be a passionate learner is to be curious about the world, seek a close interconnectedness and mastery in both the sciences and the humanities, and possess a personal voice for advanced learning. For interested Victorians in the integrated program, if you exhibit these qualities, to be able to manage ambiguous situations, to be challenged by all these problems, real-world problems or future-oriented problems which may not have immediate solutions in the current days, then this is something that will appeal to you. Exhibit this boldness also in terms of exercising your personal voice to be grounded in certain values and perspectives, and also take multiple perspectives from others. Be a collaborative learner so that you thrive in a team-based community to come up with a solution for future problems, and also be very driven in terms of going deeper into your passions of subjects and to the things that you want to pursue. Victoria Cedar Alliance is a strong one. And every year, we come together for joint activities to celebrate our success, bond with each other, become stronger as a VCA community. Whether it's through CCAs, talent development, student leadership, as well as joint programs. The integrated program with Cedar Girls Secondary School and Victoria Junior College continues to grow from strength to strength. I'd like to appeal and invite all P6s to join us to be a Victorian. In terms of our Sec 1 posting in 2021, our O-level program fits into the achievement level of 6 to 9, and our integrated program fits into the achievement levels of 5 to 8. These are also based on our steady PSLE score ranges in the past. Admission to VS can be through direct school admission, as well as the Sec 1 posting after your PSLE. You can find more information about Victoria School through our official website, our official Facebook, and of course, our Instagram account. Our Victorians exercise intellectual potential and ability, and they're also committed to excellence, willing to work hard because our school motto drives us to achieve and inspires the whole community. New Sine Labore guides us in everything that we do, and we never give up. A Victorian has a passion for life and learning, has got leadership potential with the commitment to serve others first, and a willingness to give back to the community. When you're choosing a school, I'd like to encourage you, consider whether it should be a single-sex school, like an all-boys school, or a co-educational school. Should it be an English-speaking environment that you thrive and enjoy in, or a bicultural one, like a special assistance program school? Should it be the O-level track or the integrated program track? In VS, as well as Cedar Girls, we offer dual track. That means when you come into Victoria School, even if you join us in the O-level track, based on your academic results as well as your aptitude or integrated program, you may be recommended or fulfill a certain eligibility to transfer to the IP in Victoria School. Specific to the school, does the school offer the program? Does the secondary school environment and culture, is it something that fits what you aspire towards? Is there an offer of a CCA of your choice in that particular secondary school? Do you like the school environment and the culture? So that's where going on to the website and when you come to our open house, e-open house, you'll be able to hear more and interact as well with our student leaders. And also, last of all, would you be able to cope in a school of your choice in terms of the academic as well as the co-curricular demands? I'd like to invite all of you, P6 students, to join us in Victoria School and be a gentleman, professional, and sportsman. Discover Victoria so that you can discover who you are, your personal identity, your strengths, and allow us an opportunity in Victoria School to develop you further. We keep our Victoria flag unfurled and New Sine Labore, the motto that drives us in everything that we do. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoy a very fulfilling and enriching e-open house at Victoria School.
Right, thank you very much for that video. I hope that parents, it has given you and of course our P6 boys a glimpse into what Victoria School represents, what we hope to deliver for your education here for 4 years. A very good morning to all the parents and our P6 young gentlemen. We hope that today will be a very fruitful time where we can spend with each other. So that you can get a little bit more insight into what VS represents. We also like to thank every one of you who have fielded questions in the past few weeks so that we can prepare this session and make it meaningful and valuable use of your time. I'd like to just give a very general remark with respect to some of the questions that you are very interested to know, to ask. And beyond that, I will be asking my VPs, Mr. Gary Neo, Mr. Jonathan Tan, and Ms. Silver Cham, to address some other questions that you have fielded. We are also very happy to have our student leaders with us today. Later on, there will be a session where they will answer some of your questions, perhaps the P6 boys wanted to ask. We are also very blessed to have our parents support group with us today so that they can also share with you a glimpse into their sons' lives, some of whom have graduated from Victoria School and some with current students as well. Our HODs, our subject heads, our year heads, as well as our teachers are also here today to address some of your questions and to share with you their passion for the subjects that they teach. So without further ado, I'd like to share with you our focus in Victoria School. One very common question which parents and P6 boys are very interested to know is, what is our focus in terms of academics, in terms of co-curricular, our sporting excellence, in terms of character, in terms of leadership? So I hope that in the PowerPoint presentation just now, it has actually shared that we focus on 5 domains of the holistic education of every Victorian gentleman. The character education, leadership development, cognitive abilities through the academic subjects, community spirit, how we teach our Victorians to give back to society, exposure to physical development and the arts, so that they can nurture an eye for beauty and for the humanistic elements of people around them. So through these 5 domains, we aim to develop a holistic Victorian who is a gentleman, professional, and sportsman. Now, some parents ask me, what is the topmost important out of these 5 domains? I would say character excellence is the most important. Without character excellence, the right values, the pride values that we want to nurture in every Victorian, we would want to develop them to be active citizens who contribute, make tangible contributions towards society in future. So character excellence, a moral compass within them, is the most important aspect of a Victorian education. The other 4 domains are equally important, but I would say the next important would be community spirit. Whatever a Victorian develops in terms of their cognitive abilities through the subjects that they're exposed to, whether it is through literacy, numeracy, teamwork, collaborative work, problem solving, tackling ambiguous situations and future problems, all these are good skills and content knowledge that we must nurture in every one of them, because it prepares them from the work life. It prepares them for future problem solving. It future-proofs them in terms of skills, aptitudes. But all these would be for naught if their character is not steadfast, if there's no moral compass to guide them in the decisions that they make, because becoming future leaders, they will be assailed, will be confronted with moral dilemmas in every aspect of their life and work. So what's more important besides these aptitudes, skills, attributes, and content knowledge is this character excellence. What is this character education that through the 4 years we want to mold in our gentleman, professional, and sportsman, so that every decision that they make in future is guided by values and moral compass. So that's what my response would be like for all the parents who are interested to know what is the top priority. I would also like to share with you that in terms of the 5 domains, each one of them will take precedence or be more pronounced in certain parts of the year. I'd like to give the example of a sportsman. We all are familiar with the National School Games and also our performance in the performing arts for Singapore Youth Festivals. Now, when that season is upon them, there's a lot of preparation work that they need to do. A sportsman needs to train, and the pace of training is important, how they build up to their peak, just like any chorister or any musician in a concert band or Chinese orchestra. So what would be very important for this group of Victorians during that period of time would really be about the teamwork, about the individual mastery of the passion, of the skill that they are trying to hone, in order to prepare themselves for this national platform so that it reflects truly and accurately their prowess and their skill level at that moment in time. So I would say that during that period of time, sporting excellence, sporting development, co-curricular development would be important because there is an upcoming milestone performance. Now, having said that, academic important development and skills development is also important throughout the year. Now, academic development is a cyclical, spiraling effect kind of experience. So that with baby steps, with bite-sized assessment and development, Victorians are able to build up their skills and knowledge and content mastery. So that's important throughout the year. And there will be peaks where they have to prepare for assessments. So I would say that of the 5 domains, we have designed it in such a way that the Victorians experience through the 4 years, and each year there will be peaks, there will be pronounced emphasis on certain aspects of these domains. So that eventually at the end of each year, we will be able to give a holistic reflection and report on how the Victorian has grown, how we have nurtured their growth throughout that year. Okay, so I'd like to share that my response with towards a few of the questions by the parents and the P6s. Now I'd like to hand the time over to Mr. Gary Neo, who would like to address some of the questions with regard to academic program to talent development in the domains of the academics. Mr. Neo, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kao. Good morning, parents and students. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and for your questions. I will briefly share about our school's approach to teaching and learning. We use the Teaching for Understanding curriculum approach in our design and planning of lessons. This means that for every subject, teachers will identify the key concepts, be it the knowledge, the skills, or the values for students to learn and plan their learning experiences for students so that they can learn the concepts better. These include the science practical lessons, collaborative project work, out-of-classroom experiences, and other hands-on tasks. Our students are also equipped with their own personal learning devices. Some parents had asked, how do we use technology to enhance the lessons in the classroom? Through these personal learning devices, they can explore animations and other online resources that deepen their understanding for the concepts that they have to learn. As part of the Teaching for Understanding framework, our school-based assessments are then designed to evaluate our students' learning of these concepts. We understand that the transition from primary to secondary school education may be challenging, and some of our students might find that they might have some difficulty in this transition. Our Parent Support Group members will actually share on some of these tips later. For our students, we have guidance programs to support those who need more time, right, in understanding the concepts. Through the guidance program, the students learn about study skills to help them cope with the demands of secondary school education. Our teachers also conduct additional lessons for students who need more time to understand some of these difficult concepts. In addition, we have our one-to-one or small group consultations that are conducted for students to clarify any doubts that they have with their teachers. I will now pass the time to my VP colleague, Jonathan Tan, to give an overview of the student development curriculum. Mr. Tan, please.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Neo. Right. Good morning, parents. Thank you for joining us. I'm the Vice Principal for Student Development, Mr. Jonathan Tan. So there was a question that asked about how Victoria School nurtures and future-proof pupils through the Student Development Program. I think just now in Mr. Chow's presentation, he has actually also shared briefly on this. So I will just going to go through, maybe touch on some of the key student development programs that we have in Victoria School, just to address this question, right? So in Victoria School, we have a very comprehensive student development program, right, to promote the holistic development of all Victorians. And through this student development program, we want to develop the social emotional competencies and also the 21st century competencies of all our Victorians. So just now we have shared some of these key programs. For example, right, the CCA programs in Victoria School, we have a whole range of CCA programs that plans to promote and develop the skills, friendship, teamwork, and commitment of our students, right? Whether is it in terms of their commitment to school and beyond as well. So we also have our very own signature program, our character and leadership program that develops and nurture the character and leadership competencies of our students. So over the course of the 4 years, or if it's 6 years with us in the IP program, even through to Victoria Junior College, there will be ample platforms and opportunities to develop their leadership competencies. So we also have our Beyond Borders program that includes the local and overseas learning experience for our students. Of course, in the past 2 years, due to COVID situation, we were not able to carry out the overseas kind of exchange program, but we have also leveraged on technology platform and started exchange program with our overseas counterpart through online platforms as well. So this is also something that the Victorians can look forward to if they were to join us. Just now, we also shared about the social innovation program that develops the community-centeredness and passion for our Victorians to serve the community. Right, we also make use of the design thinking protocols to help our students go through the whole process of how they can innovate socially as well. In Victoria School, we are very fortunate. We have a boarding school, all right? We have a hostel, right? So our Victorians actually have the opportunity, our level 3 Victorians have the opportunity to stay in the hostel to develop that keen sense of self-discipline and independence as they stay away from their parents and family. So it was really a very unique situation. And we hope that with the COVID situation easing out, our boarding program can restart again. So if you look at the whole range of student development programs we have, there's really a lot of very interesting things and exciting programs that our students can look forward to. So I encourage all our potential Victorians, to come join us in Victoria School. So with that, I'd like to hand the time to my colleague, the Vice Principal for Administration, Ms. Sylvia Cham, to address some of the questions as well. Right, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Cham. I'm the VP Admin for the school. We do have quite a few questions on, for instance, like what's the cutoff point for DSA as well as for the cohort coming in for this year. This first time we're going to have the new scoring system. So as presented by Mr. Chow, for last year, the cutoff was 248 for the O-level track and 252 for the IP track. As to what it will be for this year, we really have no idea. We have no crystal ball as well. But for the past few years, it usually hovers around 246 to 248 for the O-level track, as well as around 252 for the IP track. So for the students that are going to be admitted via DSA, we also have no idea how their PSLE scoring will be like. But as we know, for AL scoring system, in terms of indicative scores, for the O-level is actually a 6, and for the IP is about 5. So anyway, all the best to all our P6s who will be receiving their results soon. So I hope that that answers your question. Without further ado, I'd like to actually pass the time over to our Head of Department for Integrated Program, Mr. Jonathan Oh. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Oh. I'm the HOD of the Integrated Program. Just to answer some of the questions that you have, the Integrated Program is a 6-year program in collaboration with Cedar Girls Secondary School and Victoria Junior College. Although the IP students don't have the O-level examinations to go to VJC, they will still need to do well in other assessments throughout the year. And of course, there's the usual year-end examination. It is a challenging curriculum where they get to learn in great breadth and depth. And yes, there will be many projects where they get the opportunity to work in groups. Students also experience additional programs such as electives and internship programs. Our level 1 intake will be about 5 O-level classes and 5 IP classes. O-level students who do well also get the chance to apply for the IP at the end of secondary 2. We are proud that our IP students do well in most years. 100% of them will proceed to VJC. They continue to do very well in VJC, attaining very good A-level results over there. Now I'll pass the time over to our Head of Department for CCA, Mr. Tan.
I can't switch on my video because the host has stopped it. Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, parents and P6 students. All right, I would just like to start off by continuing what Mr. Charles mentioned with regards to the tension between academic curriculum and CCA. So I just like to give you all this perspective that they should play complementary roles. No one should take precedence over the other one. But at certain junctures of the year, one will take priority, of course, in terms of the time, effort, and commitment from the students. So that's where the time management, good discipline will come into play. And time management is something that we'll be teaching our P6 students, our Sec 1 students, and we'll be encouraging them and emphasizing to them over the course of their 4-year journey with us. Okay, so moving on to the kind of CCAs that we have, we shared earlier that we have 28 CCAs. That's a very big and wide selection. This is to, of course, to offer our students choice and flexibility. Amongst these 28 CCAs, there are 13 sports, 6 uniform groups, 5 visual and performing arts, and 4 art clubs and societies. All our level 1 students will be given an opportunity to undergo trials during the level 1 selection and allocation, CCA selection and allocation exercise. So to address the first question that is very pertinent amongst all the questions that were posted about CCA is whether somebody who has no sporting experience in primary school and is not training with a private coach, for example, can he still choose the sports CCA when he's in Sec 1? Well, the answer is yes, of course, you can choose as one of the 9 selection choices that is given to you. But you may not be allocated to the sports CCA. Okay, the reason is because every year we have a substantial number of students who come in to VS through the DSA route, sports. So a lot of the spaces and places in the sports CCAs have already been allocated to the DSA talents. But having said that, it is not impossible, but it's just a little bit more difficult to get into a sports CCA. Okay, coupled with the fact that we also need to understand that we need to sustain and grow all our 28 CCAs. So we do have a quota on the number of places allocated each CCA. All right, second question. I think some parents are also interested to find out whether we support external CCA activities which are not offered in VS. So for example, there are some of you who are competitive swimmers, taekwondo exponents, and also golf players. VS do not offer these CCAs, but we will support you if you are training regularly. And you also have managed to actually balance the academic demands of the secondary curriculum. Okay, remember now you're going to be taking 8 to 9 subjects rather than the 4 that you are taking in primary school. So if you're able to balance it and you're training regularly, we will support you by registering you for the National School Games to represent VS. But however, you still need to take a school-based CCA because it's mandatory for all government, mainstream government school students to have a school-based CCA. This is so that you do not miss out on the opportunity of social interaction, okay, with your schoolmates, your cohort mates, across the levels and across the classes and across the levels. Okay, last but not least, there's a question about sports facilities in VS. Okay, so let me just run through very quickly. We have a competition-sized football field that is artificially turfed. We have an indoor sports hall, a playing area below the indoor sports hall, 2 tennis courts, a multi-purpose hall, and also a parade square. Okay, so with that, I would like to end my time. Thank you for your attention. I would like to pass the time over to my colleague, HOD for Character and Leadership Education, Ms. Tang, please.
Good morning, parents and P6 students. I will share a little bit more in the area of student leadership. Now, as mentioned earlier, we have many broad-based activities and programs that provide opportunities for students to demonstrate personal and team leadership in an authentic experiential setting. Now, for some others who demonstrate higher potential and are keen to take on more, the school offers opportunity for them to lead beyond their class, beyond their CCA. We have a few different student leadership boards. There are senior and junior leaders board, prefectorial board, peer support board, monitors council. And these boards have their unique function to take care of different school events and activities, and even outreach programs. They also have their own training and development programs and opportunities that will definitely equip our students to be confident, resilient, and ready to serve and contribute to the wider community So join us in VS and you will find out more in time to come. Now, hope this answered to the question on leadership opportunities available in VS. Our student leaders will also be sharing their thoughts and their experiences more in this area a little later. So next, I'll pass the time to Mr. Chang Chao Hang, who is the HOD of Mathematics. Mr. Chan, please.
Thank you, Ms. Tang. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Chan. I would like to answer the query on school program for Math Olympians. For mathematics, the school participates in the Singapore Mathematical Olympiad competition yearly. Prior to the competition, there will be a training program for selected students to prepare them for the competition. The school also participates in the International Mathematical Modeling Challenge, which exposes students to real-world problems and the applications of mathematics to solve them. At upper levels, students who are interested in mathematical research could be mentored by a teacher. I will now invite Mrs. Fu, HOD of Science, to share more on the science program. Mrs. Fu, please.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mrs. Fu here. Notice there's a few questions on our talent development program. But first of all, let me introduce our science program first. We aim to instill deep interest and nurture the student to become innovative and respected leaders in various science-related areas. Our school provides a stimulating environment that provides lifelong learning for all students by providing them with advanced, authentic, and informal learning through various activities conducted during and outside curriculum time. Our talent development also provides a wide range of programs for students of different interests that can stretch their potential, broaden their knowledge and experiences. The student will be actively engaged in learning throughout their school life here in Victoria School to nurture their disposition, skills, and competency in science. Now it's time to call upon Edwin, our SH of Chemistry, to maybe give you a bit of more glimpse of our talent development. Edwin, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Fu. Hi, everyone. I'll be touching more on our science programs. In Victoria School, we structure our science programs both within and out of curriculum to develop our Victorians' interest and ability in STEM-related fields. In lower secondary, we have science research modules in our curriculum to inculcate research fundamentals in our Victorians. In addition, we give our Victorians exposure on programming through a series of workshops over the 4 years here in Victoria School. We also organize internal training sessions to prepare our Victorians for the Science Olympiad competitions for all 3 sciences, namely biology, chemistry, and physics. Through these sessions, our Victorians will learn more advanced scientific concepts outside of the curriculum before participating in the competitions. We also send our interested Victorians to other competitions like the International Biomedical Quiz, International Chemistry Quiz, and Singapore Young Physicist Tournament. Next, Mr. Pang will share with you more on the non-academic programs we offer.
Thank you, Alvin. Hi, I'm Mr. Pang, and I'll elaborate a little further on the science program in Victoria School. As an IP school, we work closely with external organizations such as A-STAR, DSO, DSTA, SUTD, and VJC. There are various opportunities for students to be engaged in real-world scientific investigations and research through the Young Defense Scientist Program, Science and Technology Camps, and World of Science modules. Our students learn about artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, drones, machine learning, and robotics. Our students also receive the A-STAR Science Award and YDSP scholarships through these collaborative efforts. Our Infocom Club operates in tandem with the science department in developing IT-related skills of our students, in coding, drones, and robotics, through gradual introduction of various activities to excite and cultivate their interest in these fields. We hope your child will join us and discover these wonderful programs soon. I'll now hand over the time to our Head of Mother Tongue Department, Ms. Yong.
Thank you, Mr. Pang. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Yong. As bilingualism is the cornerstone of Singapore's language policy, many parents are very concerned with the mother tongue languages offered in schools. I would like to address the following question. Does Victoria School have normal mother tongue or only higher mother tongue? For this question, I have different answers for the S1 O-level track and the Year 1 IP track. In the O-level track, we have both mother tongue and higher mother tongue subjects. Sec 1 students are allocated to either the mother tongue or higher mother tongue class based on their PSLE results. However, if a Sec 1 mother tongue student is keen to appeal to offer higher mother tongue, he may sign up for our placement test, which will take place in 2022 Term 1, Week 1. As for the IP track, we only offer higher mother tongue for Year 1 and Year 2. However, Year 2 higher mother tongue students who are not able to achieve 45% and above for their overall results will be transferred to a mother tongue class when they are in Year 3. And these students will eventually sit for the O-level mother tongue exams in Year 4. As for IP students who do well enough in their higher mother tongue, they will continue to offer higher mother tongue and they will sit for the O-levels higher mother tongue exams when they are in Year 4. A related question was also raised. Is it required to take higher mother tongue in the IP program? Well, the simple answer to this question is yes, as the students in the IP track, they are considered to be high ability learners who are academically inclined and very likely able to handle mother tongue as a first language. But do rest assured that if an IP student faces difficulties in coping with his higher mother tongue, the option to transfer to mother tongue will be available from Year 3 onwards. In Victoria School, we strive to ensure our students have the opportunity to learn their mother tongue at a pace appropriate for their learning needs. This will prove advantageous when cultivating our students' interest in their mother tongue languages and in promoting lifelong learning. Next, the English and Literature Department will share more with you on their curriculum and programs.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mrs. Michelle Ng, SH for Literature, and with me I have Ms. Cheryl Ng, our HOD, as well as Ms. Rachel Tan, our Literature teacher, to join me in sharing a little more about English and literature in English. There was a question about whether it was compulsory to take literature in English. Yes, literature in English is compulsory for all students at a lower secondary level. There are many good reasons for this, especially in the digital 21st century. It is all the more essential for students to have these literary skills to make meaning of the information they are constantly inundated with.
Yes, and at VS, we are very mindful of all these considerations in our teaching on the subject, because at lower secondary, we try our best to introduce relatable themes like growing up, education, and even very contemporary issues like prejudice and discrimination. So this will definitely allow students to make more meaningful connections between the world and their lives, as well as through our interesting lessons and our formative assessments, they can see the value of literature in our 21st century.
Yeah, so ultimately the goal is for students to enjoy and appreciate both the language English as well as literature and to see its application beyond the classroom. Now, the skills and competencies for both subjects are actually transferable, and learning how to write a competent argument will bode well for both English and Lit in their essay writing and in terms of their argument. Similarly, being familiar with how to unpack writer's craft will also come in handy when tackling your language for impact questions and comprehension.
Yes, so rather than whether the subject is compulsory, we would like to encourage students to think about the essential problem solving and analytical thinking skills that are developed through the study of literature. It is something that they are already doing in their everyday lives as they read, as they watch movies. Now I will pass the time to our HOD of the Humanities, Mr. Donald Liu.
Thank you, Michelle. Morning, everyone. Now, there's a question on what is VS Humanities program and how is it important to balance the curriculum and the students in terms of to balance the curriculum. Sorry, what is humanities? Okay. In VS, the humanities education seeks to develop in our students an appreciation of human experiences and an understanding of interconnectedness among people, communities, and their environment. Through our curriculum and programs, we hope to inspire and appropriate attitudes and values in learners that promote active contribution towards a positive future for society. Under the humanities program, we offer history, geography, and regional studies program. ISP is an academic program that comes with a scholarship. It offers Bahasa Indonesia as a third language as well as non-example module that teaches people, places, and cultures of Southeast Asia. In history, students are expected to be interested and curious about past, engage actively in historical inquiry, as well as to develop empathy with people living in diverse places and at different times. Over to you, Yin Kai.
Yes, and I want to elaborate a little bit about the geography program. So students in the geography program, they'll be taught how to acquire knowledge on the distribution and processes of both physical and human phenomena, and how these phenomena actually interact with each other at the local, regional, and global scales. So this is geography is like an academic discipline that really teaches students to integrate their knowledge and apply them in a natural setting. So they're required to use whatever knowledge they have in the sciences and all the other disciplines as well. So all of these is done through interesting activities like map making, fieldwork, and so on and so forth. So, through this, they gain like geographical insights and global awareness through the study of like current issues and their management. And we also do send students who have a flair in geography to the NUS Geography Challenge. And this is our geography program in sum, and of course our humanities program in sum. Yeah, so now I'm going to hand over the time to Mr. Heng, the HOD of Arts and Aesthetics. Mr. Heng, please.
Hello everyone, it's me again. I'm asked to share about the art program in VS. VS is one of the first few schools to start the art elective program, or better known as AEP, for students talented in art. We'll find some details about the VS AEP on the various VS online presence. VS AEP also has its own Instagram account. You can also find another Instagram account named vs.lowersec.art, showcasing VS's lower secondary art lessons. Finally, we also have post-exam art activities, as well as art-related CCAs such as Photography Club and Audio-Visual Club. Johan, please.
So in addition to the art program, we have the full year lower secondary school secondary music syllabus, which is offered to the year 1 and year 2 students to complement the aesthetic education in VS. So as gentlemen, students develop their talents and passion for the musical arts, as well as understanding and appreciating music from around them, the world music, through ensemble playing, leveling up their instrumental skills, and also delving into music productions and recording. So for students who have the musical aptitude, they may take up the O-level music or their music elective program, MEP, in external musical centers. So I'd like to pass it to Joel.
Everyone. Okay, in VS, the aesthetic talent development comprises of the academic, CCA, and enrichment programs, such as our post-exam aesthetics, okay, which happens twice a year. Yearly VS Factor, which provides students a platform to showcase their talents to the school. In addition to the CCAs mentioned by Mr. Heng earlier, we also have our concert band, choir, Chinese orchestra, drama, and debate oratorical society, which are performing arts, very vibrant and something that, that our students look forward to. These programs all have the objective of leading our Victorians to become more equipped to process and express the thoughts and emotions they and the people around them have, so they become truly the gentlemen that we want to see. They are able to empathize with others and develop an appreciation for the aesthetics and develop themselves to become scholars, practitioners, and advocates in the arts. So now I'll pass the time back to the student leaders.
Thank you, school leaders and teachers, for that very informative sharing.
Indeed, let's proceed to the questions received on our school's emphasis on students, school values, and school motto. I think answers from our students would be of great interest to our e-open house audience.
So firstly, what is the school motto and its emphasis on students? The school's motto is Nil Sine Labore, and it means nothing without labor. Learning is certainly a lifelong process, and this journey can often become stressful and tough. However, nothing worth having ever comes easy. And thus, the school hopes to inculcate a spirit of resilience and determination in every Victorian, and for them to strive to do their best and put in effort in order to get what they want. Thank you for this question.
Thank you, Xavier. So the next question is, what are the student leader positions available? Well, we have a variety of student leadership opportunities in Victoria School. Firstly, for our class-based leadership positions, we have the monitorship, class secretary, and the welfare representative, just to name a few. Victorians can also be part of the student leadership position in the student leadership board, which are the Monitors Council, the Peer Support Board, the Prefectorial Board, and lastly, the Senior Leaders Board. Every CCA and board also has an executive committee, which leads their respective boards and CCAs. Maybe Asher, you can also reply to this question. Do you find that the students are able to cope with their academics while juggling their CCA in VS?
Thank you, Aditya. I honestly feel that students will be able to cope with their schoolwork along with their CCAs. And for some of us, we also have our leadership board commitments. However, there's nothing to worry about as the amount of homework is reasonable. Secondly, I feel that VS recognizes the times where we should prioritize studies over CCA and where we should have a balance of both. When it's nearing the semester assessments periods, all CCAs stand down temporarily to allow students to better focus on their academics. So I feel that balancing CCA and academic commitments is easily managed. And Iman, why don't you tell everyone why Victoria is a recommended choice? That is the last question we have for student leaders today.
VS is definitely a great choice because there's a wide range of opportunities in terms of the academic aspects and also the non-academic aspects such as CCA and leadership. VS provides a conducive environment for learning, and the teachers always establish a positive and approachable atmosphere. Also, VS performs well during competitions like NSG, usually achieving the top 4 positions for sports and certificates of distinction for the performing arts. For example, this year, despite the disruptions due to COVID-19, the Debate and Oratorical Society has emerged as the winner for the National Secondary Schools Debate Championships. As such, students can thrive in VS. As I mentioned earlier, VS provides a wide array of leadership opportunities, ranging from CCA captains to prefects. Through these opportunities, one is able to hone their leadership skills and gain a unique and meaningful experience as a student leader. I hope this answers your question. Now, our parent volunteer would like to share with you on this too. Ms. Jacqueline Ho, please.
Hi, good morning, parents. I'm Jacqueline from the PSG. Welcome to the VSE Open House. Okay, I have 2 sons in VS. Actually, one has already graduated and now in VJC, and my second son is actually in year 3 and going to year 4 next year. Just to share a little bit as a journey for my, as a parents, okay. So my son actually started going open house since he was P4. So at the moment he came to VS, actually he set his eyes on VS after the open house, and eventually every year until P6, he will always go for the VS open house. Actually, we were glad that we did not regret the choice, and we find VS is a very well balanced school. As a parent, to be honest, I understand that, the time that VS actually offered dual track. And I also, as a parent, I think ahead. What if my son did not do well in IP? He can always switch back to O level. Because at that time, my son, he has already think ahead that he actually want to do IP program after his PSLE. And even though VS is considered as one of a very strong academic school, but it also plays a lot of emphasis in other areas like sport and aesthetics. Actually, both of my sons are in the volleyball and tennis respectively. Okay, so coming to the question, I think one of our parents actually asked about dual track offering both IP and 4-year express stream, which should be, as a parent should consider. I think a lot depends on your child's personality. If they are more on the very structured way of prefer structured way of learning, I think you can consider express stream. And then let's say we write IP, we have a lot of project-based project. It's something very different from express streams curriculum. You can actually consider doing the IP track. But again, I think I will suggest that really have a good conversation with your son to see what they really like. Okay, so coming to VS, we always have a very dedicated teachers, walking through the journey with them, so you can be assured of that. And today, actually, beside me, I have 2 other parents. Of course, I have 2 sons in IP, and I have another parent who in the express stream, and other parent who have 2 sons, the twins, in the IP and express stream, so they can actually share with you their perspective. Okay, over to you, Patsy.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. Hi, good morning. I'm Patsy. I would say Victoria is always something more. The school is all around in the areas such as academic, sports, and the arts. The boys come from all walks of life. However, most of them are cheerful, confident, presentable, and sporty. We shape everyone to be a gentleman, professional, and a sportsman. That's why I enrolled my son into the school, and I have never regret to make these decisions. My son is currently Set 3 in VS. These 3 years, I have seen him grow from a shy soft-spoken 12 years old boy to a confident, responsible, and sporty 15 years old young man. Some parents will consider to apply DSA sports, but also worry is the boy can cope with it. My answer is no worry. My boy get into Victoria School by DSA sport, and I find the workload is okay. They will form a homework and study group with the teammate and try to finish the homework together before the training. So they will still have time to rest after training. So it is not that stressful in terms of workload. It still can coping with it. So do not to be too worried about that. Actually, we will have a conversation recently. We both agree with has transferred him. The school has done so much in grooming him to be what he is now. Now that he will be facing O-level next year, he is determined to do well so that he can continue the education within the Victoria family. So go to you.
Hi, good morning, parents and primary 6 students. I have twin boys in Sec 3 now, one in IP and one in O-level. If you are very highly motivated and like self-learning and like to do project work, I suggest you take the IP route. But if you are more a structured person and you like certain things, it's better for you to be in the express stream. Both my kids are sportsmen, and it will take a lot of time, but trust me, parents and students, you will learn to manage it. I would say that VS is an overall very good school. They have groomed them to be a gentleman, sportsmen, and a sportsman and a professional. So I hope to see parents and students coming to VS soon. Now I hand it over to Mr. Heng.
Right. Good morning, parents. I will also be introducing to our principal for some very fun announcements. Principal, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Heng, and thank you, PSG parents, for walking with us through all the years. And we are all very happy to see your sons grow into strapping young men. I would also like to now also share my appreciation to all the staff as well as student leaders who are here with us. This e-open house wouldn't have been possible without all their contributions and efforts. So they really put in their heart and soul into sharing with you, answering your questions for the things that they are very passionate about. If within this time, we aren't able to address some of your other queries, we hope that you can write into us, you can email us, or you can visit our microsite to actually choose what you want to know more about, right? So we do have many articles and sharings as well as video clips for you to further explore so that you can discover what Victoria is and discover yourself if you were to join us next year in 2022. Now, as part of our VS 145 celebration this year, we produced some mini figures, right? Mini figures that wear our school uniform. So we have 3 very special designs. You can actually go to our school website to take a look. And if you are interested, you can purchase them. They're all in limited quantities. And we rolled out this competition for P6s, P5 and P6s who are interested to join VS. So we actually invited them to not more than 100 words to describe what it is that Victoria is something more to them. So within the past few weeks, we received many entries from our P5 and P6s, and we have chosen 3 very well-written and authentic, heartfelt sharings by 3 students from 3 primary schools. So we'd like to congratulate these boys. I don't know whether you are here today with us, but we are showing what the public what you have written about why Victoria is something more to you. So we'd like to congratulate first Ling Zhonghan from Southview Primary School for having your write-up being selected. They are all not in alphabetical, they're all not in any order. So we have chosen 3 and you're one of them. So congratulations, Mr. Ling Zhong Han. Congratulations for being chosen. And we also have a second student, Manjaka. So yours have also been chosen. He's from St. Stephen's School. So if you are here with us today, congratulations. And our third winner, Uza from Cantonment Primary School. So later on, we'll be able to upload these sharings, your write-ups, on our school website, our VS Facebook and website, so that you can take time to read what your friends have written. So we'd like to congratulate these three primary school boys for your write-ups, and we will get in contact with you to send you the mini figure. Or if you are joining us next year, then on the first day of school, we'll be able to present it to you personally. So congratulations, and thank you very much. Before we sign off, for all the parents and P6s who have joined us today on this Saturday morning to learn more about Victoria School. We hope that you will consider Victoria School as a choice school and when your PSLE results are released next week. So all the best to your results, and you have done exceptionally well for it. And we hope that you have a pleasant journey with Victoria School next year in 2022. Thank you very much. Over to the student leaders.
Thank you everyone for attending and supporting this Q&A session for the VSE Open House 2021. We will now be taking our leave. However, do continue to reach out to us to have your queries addressed. Meanwhile, take care, stay safe,